Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about the top 3 regrets people have about their criminal charge. This is Christina Williams with Just Criminal Law.
And David Mann, legal storytelling specialist. Well, all right. So the top 3 things people worry about when they're charged with a crime. I'm going to guess the first one has something to do with they didn't know what to expect, right?
Well, right. I mean, people only know what they know, right? And so going into a case where they're charged with a crime and they're appearing in court, they sometimes act hastily and do make moves that they later regret. And, specifically I hear it in the way of, I'll be representing someone and they come in on a new criminal charge and they have a prior criminal history, and they share with me what that conviction really did to them and why they're worried about having another conviction. I mean, specifically, they talk about lost opportunities. That is, they went in and they pled guilty because they say they wanted to get out of jail and they wanted to avoid, paying for an attorney, and they, just wanted to get it behind them as fast as they could. But what they didn't realize is that they were going to be dealing with it for basically the rest of their lives.
So something goes on their record, of course, and then you mentioned something about losing opportunities. So what kind of opportunities might they lose?
Sure. Now, with a criminal record, maybe they were younger, they hadn't quite completed their schooling, or, they were in a career where they wanted to move up. That is, they wanted promotions. And they find themselves explaining, whether it's, to a licensing board or to their boss, what happened, when they were younger and they made a foolish mistake, and say they pled guilty instead of protecting themselves.
So is that another thing that they regret then, just pleading guilty?
Exactly. They will go into court, and I even get people, that have pled guilty and they're waiting to be sentenced. They go into court, they think, I need to plead guilty to get out of jail, or again, I am guilty, so, I might as well plead guilty. Like, what else can I do? I've got myself into this situation. And so they do plead guilty, and then they come to me wanting to have help with their sentencing or to get a plea bargain, when now they've lost all of their leverage. The prosecutor doesn't have to negotiate with them. And so, maybe they got out of jail quickly, got to work, that next morning, but they're left now having to explain a criminal conviction. So yes, pleading guilty is a big regret.
Okay, so they regret, maybe missing opportunities in the future. They regret pleading guilty. And then I think you said there were 3. What's the third one?
Yeah, so they don't necessarily realize that this criminal conviction will follow them. Now, I've heard many times that people will say, well, it happened when I was 18, so it doesn't really count, right? And what they don't understand is, they may have pled guilty to this crime when they were 18, but that doesn't mean it drops off their record once they become an adult. So, they are mistaken that the criminal record is somehow not permanent. I also have people with, a DUI thinking that, well, this is going to drop off my record in 10 years. I just have to, be careful. I've made it this far in life without a DUI. Now I just need to be careful for 10 years and it'll drop off my record. Now, what they don't understand is, for enhancement purposes, that is, you won't be charged with a second offense within 10 years, and with that comes jail time. But it doesn't actually drop off of their record. And so, again, that's going to come up on a background check if they want to move or change careers. And, they need to get a new driving record, or they need to get or a new driver's license and provide their driving record, or they apply for another position in the same career in another state, and they have to submit to a background check or disclose the conviction on the application, which, is going to ask, have you ever been cited? Have you ever been convicted? Have you ever pled guilty to a criminal offense? And so they really don't know, again, what their future holds or what it looks like to have a criminal conviction, because they somehow think that that's not going to follow them.
Yeah, so it sounds like they missed opportunities, they regret pleading guilty, and then simply they didn't think it through for their future, which might involve going to another state and things like that. So with a skilled criminal defense attorney, how can some of those, I guess, fears and regrets not become fears and regrets?
Sure. I mean, there's all sorts of ways that a skilled criminal defense attorney can help them. Now, our first plan of attack is always to review the evidence against them and see if there was anything done improperly in their case, and maybe get the case thrown out altogether. Now, if that's not the case, we can still negotiate a deal where they can maybe go through a diversion program and keep the conviction off their record. That is, maybe they plead guilty, but they agree to some terms and conditions, and if they meet all of those terms and conditions, then the judge will dismiss the case. So there's two ways to get it dismissed. And then the third way is always we can go to trial and we can prove that they are not guilty at trial. So there's those ways to combat the conviction, and then there's always the ability to negotiate a plea deal where they can live with the consequences. They may not be thrilled with the consequences, but they can at least live with them. And then they have the peace of mind of knowing that an attorney reviewed their case and got them the best deal possible. That is, if they find the right attorney.
Well, I think they should probably look for you then. So how do they get in touch with you?
Sure, we'll include a link in the description where they can call, text, or chat with a member of my team anytime, day or night. Here at Just Criminal Law, we know you only get one shot at justice, so make yours count.